Accountability. You're grown now. Some issues are only for you to deal with and not anyone else. Hi, welcome to Actually Let's Talk About It. And today's episode is a bit of a calling out episode. I don't usually do these type of episodes, but I just feel like it's very important for me to talk about this because I'm kind of getting a little bit riled up by certain statements that people say, right? So people like to use these statements of like, oh, people should take me as I am, he should accept me for who I am. I shouldn't change who I am. There's this lack of accountability when people are called out for something or when it comes to, just when people fuck up, right? They don't like to be called out for it. And I think there comes a point in your life where you cannot keep blaming others for certain things, right? For example, maybe you grew up, a lot of things happened to you, a lot of things you went through so much, and it was very traumatic for you, it was very overwhelming. You cannot clock 40 or reach 50 or 30 even 25 right now. You can't keep on blaming your childhood for the way you behave. You cannot be like, oh my goodness, ever since I was a kid, like I was always treated this way. I've always been this way. I've always been this way. Why aren't you changing? Why aren't you evolving? Why aren't you doing better? A lot of people don't like doing the work. A lot of people don't like being intentional altogether. A lot of people would rather blame someone else than take accountability. I'm not invalidating what happened to you. I'm not saying like what happened to you was not okay and whatever. But what I'm saying is there comes a point in your life where you have to take the reins. You have to be responsible. There's a reason why those things happened, right? Now you know better. So do better. Do better. The reason why I'm talking about this is because I feel like a lot of people expect their partners to be their emotional dump site or emotional punching bags or their partners. A lot of people actually tend to trauma bond with their partners and avoid dealing with their issues themselves. There are certain demons that are just a you problem that you will have to deal with, and your partner has absolutely nothing to do with them. So we can give some simple examples, like small examples. For example, like, let's say you have a sex addiction, or let's say you have a drug addiction. Let's say you have self-esteem issues. Let's say you're struggling with your mental health. There are certain things that only you can fix and you can deal with, and nobody else can deal with them. Not even your mama, not even your mama's prayers can save you from them, because these are things that you are supposed to deal with for you. And that inner work is very hard. It's very hard having to face a lot of things on your own. But when you do that, you prepare yourself or make room for other people to be in your life. Because once you don't deal with these things, or once you don't deal with these issues, it's very easy to go about your life having this victim mindset. It's very easy for you to blame everyone and everything and abscond yourself from accountability and responsibility. You know the things that you're supposed to deal with. You know the issues that you have. You know the trauma that you are supposed to work on, right? And you keep postponing it. You keep pushing it forward, saying like, oh my God, I'll deal with it later. Or it's not my fault. It's not my fault. Whatever happened to you, it wasn't your fault, right? However, going forward, it is going to be your fault. you are going to have to face the consequences of the choices that you make right now, because it's not like you don't know. You get what I mean? You know exactly what's up and you know what you're supposed to deal with. So deal with it. Deal with it. Otherwise, you're going to end up being the biggest crash out, miserable person, middle aged, auntie or uncle that never actually dealt with their shit. Deal with your shit, guys, because we actually don't have time. As much as people think there's so much time for us to, live life and whatever, there's no time. You may be thinking that, like, oh my God, this is very trivial. I don't have to address this issue right now. However, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, life can just happen when you should have dealt with that issue. You're now like 5 steps behind because you didn't deal with it then. There are more things that are going to surface in your life that you will have to deal with anyway. So it's better for you to just be intentional from the jump and just deal with things as they go. Whether it's your anger issues, whether it's your self-esteem issues, whether you are trying to understand or navigate your sexuality or whatever it is, deal with your shit. Deal with it. Because at the end of the day, you came into this world as one person and you're going to die as one person. You're not going to die with your partner or with your parents or with, your friends or whoever you're trying to hide behind. You are going to face this world, or you are facing this world as yourself, by yourself. So a lot of these things that you try and abscond yourself from dealing with, and a lot of these things that you try and avoid dealing with, will always end up catching up with you at some point, somehow, And I think I keep emphasizing about the relationships part because I feel like it's very unfair for you to expect a put together partner, a person who's put together. You have a long list and you're like, okay, this person is supposed to be like this. He's supposed to be hardworking. He's supposed to be responsible. He's supposed to be caring. He's supposed to be confident. He's supposed to be this. Yet you do not even reflect that in your own life. So how the fuck are you supposed to attract that type of energy? Do you get what I mean? And you are not anyone's assignment. You are not anyone's assignment. You are not going to be saved by anyone. If you have demons that you're not dealing with right now, if you have issues that you're not working on right now, you are going to miss out on a lot of opportunities because you are unprepared or you're not ready for them. You're going to miss out on a lot of interactions, connections, relationships, people, whatever you're desiring. You're going to miss out on that. If you're going to not work on your issues, because everybody has issues. Everyone has issues. Everybody has things that they need to deal with. It's just a matter of you. Are you working on them, or you're actually just avoiding dealing with them because you don't want to do the hard work? Because guess what? It's very hard. And I'm not talking about you going to a therapist and having someone to break it down to you and tell you, oh, you need this, you need to do this, you need to do that. Because healing literally comes from within. It doesn't come from anyone else or anywhere else. You have to do the work yourself. And I feel like a lot of people are very lazy in that regard. A lot of people are lazy in that regard of dealing with their shit and expect everybody else to accommodate them. You expect the whole world, the whole of society to accommodate you and your feelings and your traumas and whatever and feel sorry for you. But at the end of the day, healing comes from within. It doesn't come from anywhere else external. It doesn't even come from the partner. It doesn't even come from the relocation that you think. It doesn't come from any of that. It comes from you actually being intentional with yourself. And like I keep saying, there's no time. Some of y'all are in your 20s, some of y'all are in your 30s, some of y'all are in your 40s. There's actually no time for you to be taking this lightly, because, like I keep saying, the consequences or the choices that you make today have consequences. So the things that you keep ignoring, and the things that you keep suppressing, and the things that I keep getting tongue tied. the things the things that you keep suppressing, it will catch up with you at some point, and in a form that you will not like. And I also feel like every time you ignore something, or every time you choose to not work on something that you know you're supposed to work on, you get held back. You're held back in ways that don't even make sense, but like there's this stagnation that follows, where it's like, oh, okay, I'm not going to I'm not you have, for example, self-esteem issues, and you're like, oh, I'm too insecure. I'm not gonna pursue that girl. I'm not gonna pursue that guy or whatever, right? And you miss out on an opportunity, or you miss out on an amazing person, just because you haven't dealt with your self-esteem. You haven't dealt with your confidence issues. Or even, for example, just getting a job, let's say, and you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm gonna start working, and then because you are so in your head, and hold yourself back, and you have issues that you have not dealt with, you are in this vicious loop of self-sabotage. And I don't know why I just felt the need to talk about that today, but you need to take accountability and take the reins of your life. Because if you don't, no one else will. And when I say no one else, no one else will. No one is coming to save you. And your partner is not responsible for healing you or helping you face your trauma and whatever. No, that's not what your partner is there for. In fact, it's very unfair for your partner to have to deal with your baggage. Deal with your shit. Deal with your shit. Because I know damn well, I'm sure we've all been in those type of relationships where you have a crash out of a partner who has so much baggage, right? And you are in this like continuous loop of like the relationship becoming more of a trauma bond more than anything than it is about love altogether. And all of that can just be avoided if people just learn how to work on themselves and people learn how to deal with their issues. And I'm not negating the fact that it's hard. I'm not negating that it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of self-awareness. But when you have the right heart posture, and you're intentional, and you actually really put in the work, it actually does get better. And I don't know why I keep saying it gets better, but it does get better when you really take it a day at a time and you're intentional about it. You're crying, you are revisiting things that you probably didn't want to deal with, but you have to deal with them for the future version of yourself, to get better, to get to the best version of yourself. There's certain pasts, and there's certain traumas and histories about you, and a certain history about yourself that you need to shed off. And the only way you can shed that off is when you deal with your issues. You're an addict, you struggle with anger, you're lustful, you have like all of these things that you need to deal with. And in order for you to make room for people in your life, whether it's in terms of opportunities, whether it's in terms of good company, whether it's friendship, whether it's relationships, pick, some of y'all want to be moms, whether it's you preparing for motherhood, whether you're preparing for fatherhood, all of these things that you are desiring, it comes with a lot of responsibility. You know the saying that says, to whom much is given, much is expected? Yeah, you have to put in the work to get there. So you can't be out here just dilly-dallying and acting like things are just going to magically align and things are just going to, happen for you because, yes, you deserve it. You deserve it if you're intentional about your healing, if you're intentionally putting in the work, if you're dealing with your shit. Yes, 100%, you deserve it. But if you have not taken accountability or taken responsibility and you want to operate from a place of entitlement, then that's where the problem is. That's where the danger is. It will never be long lasting. It will never actually happen. It will not come to pass. It just won't happen because one, you're misaligned. Two, you're not intentional. Three, you're not ready for the next chapter. So as long as you're going to hide behind this victim mindset, I'm telling you right now, you're going to be stuck for a very long time. And yeah, that's just what I wanted to say today. That's what I wanted to talk about. It's just something that I felt like I needed to say because I feel like I'm sick and tired of people making excuses for their stupidity or their terrible, distasteful behavior. I'm just so over the, oh my gosh, you don't understand, the sob story. Like, I'm so done because guess what? There comes a point in your life where you are solely the decision maker now. You are the one who makes the decisions. You are the one who has the final say. You are the one who gets to, decide whether things are going to happen for you or not. So be careful. Don't self-sabotage. And I think we're at that age where we can't keep on blaming people and hiding behind people for the things that happened in our lives. Yes, they happened. We mourn that, we deal with that, we cry about it, we deal with it, whatever, cool. But there comes a time when you have to pick yourself up and you're going to have to be asked this question. What did you do about it? What did you do about it? Okay, that happened and cool, that happened. So like, do you get what I mean? If you found this episode harsh, I don't know, that's a you problem. But I think we need to start taking accountability and really start being responsible for the decisions that we make, especially when you're stepping into an era of autonomy. You need to actually now look at your life and see the things that you need to work on, see the things that you clearly know are going to be a problem in the future. Because some of the things that you're ignoring right now are going to cause problems in the future. And by that time, or by the time it happens, it will be too late to deal with it. Yeah. So, what a sobering episode. Very short, very brief. I think somebody needed to hear that. I don't know who, but thank you for tuning in this week. And I hope you feel seen, you feel understood, even though I was a bit, I was a bit aggressive with it. But thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode. I hope you have a lovely week. Stay safe where you are. And I can't wait to talk to you again next time.